Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Southbound Real Estate Shawn Jones Show, where we cover everything on Rebel Hill with the South Greene Rebel football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Shawn Jones. We're actually on Rebel Hill today.
Oh yeah, nice to be outside today. Oh yeah.
First time we've ever done this. We've got the beautiful mountains in the background. Thought of doing it in front of the press box because you've got a pretty unique press box right there. But when you've got those unique mountains in the background, you can't beat it.
Oh yeah, beautiful time of year. I always say there's no more beautiful place to play on a Friday night in the fall here. We've got the mountains back here and leaves changing, so a very beautiful place to play football up here.
And it feels good to be late October too.
Oh yeah,
sun's still out.
Now it's not going to be like that next week. I think 50's starting Tuesday, so better enjoy it this week.
You might be toboggan Shawn Jones next week.
That might be. If you're here after Tuesday, I will be toboggan Shawn Jones next week.
You got long sleeves on today, so we're one step closer. No short sleeves and shorts today.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Well, let's talk about the win on Friday night, 34-13 win over Grainger. Going on the road up there to Rutledge. Defense played amazing once again. You came out with a win. Talk about how great of a feeling that was Friday night.
Well, it was really big. Like I said, the last couple weeks we struggled with some injuries, and it was big to come out there. Had a big night from our freshman running back, and then, Susan ran the team well again. So we did some good stuff Friday night. Defense played really well. You had all the turnovers that we had there and had the muff punt that we got back on a turnover, so really pleased with the win. And that's where I don't think a lot of people expect us to be where we are at this point. And we asked the team the night, if the first year, if you said you'd be 8-1 right now, would you take it? And the kids said yeah. So, but we feel like we got some playing to do, we got some improvement to do, and if we do that this week, we'll have a good chance.
Talking about the defense, you forced 4 turnovers again. You've talked all year about the turnover margin. It was plus 20 earlier in the season. I have to assume it's still over plus 20 because you forced 4 this game. Do you know the exact amount at this point?
No, I have to go back and look. Like I said to you before, we was around 20. We didn't have any at Happy Valley and didn't have any at Eagleton. And we lost one and then won by 1 point. So, and then you see what happens when we get turnovers. We strive on turnovers. They've been good to us this year, and we got to keep hammering away and trying to get those turnovers. We had a couple of turnovers, some big hits, and then of course we had the muff punt, and I think we had another interception. So just big for turnovers for us. It keeps the defense off the field and getting the offense going and trying to get things done. But pretty productive night Friday night.
One of the things that I'd mentioned last week was with the injuries, you would have to move a lot of pieces around, and with that, there's a lot of adjustments that have to be done. It looked like it really didn't phase you any. You had a freshman running back in Trip Neese that went in there, got the job done, did well, had a 6-yard touchdown on one of the first drives, had 100 yards rushing on the night, which I don't know a lot of people would expect whenever you see maybe your 3rd or 4th running back option who is a true freshman come in. You don't expect 100 yards, but credit to him, he did just that, and he was a big reason on why you were able to come out with a win Friday night.
Oh yeah, credit the line. They did a great job blocking for him, and we just felt like all year that we've had different backs that could do it. We're missing Nash, but we felt like Race has done well back there, and Keyshawn down at Eagleton, and now Trip. So now we got some different options. We can move some people around, and he played really well and got a bright future here at South Greene running the football. And so he was a bright spot, real big bright spot for us Friday night. But again, the line done a great job, and which they have all year when we've had those big running games. So hats off to them. They opened hose up and so we're that way. If Nash is coming back here in the next couple of weeks until he gets back, and then once he gets back, you got another guy that you can put in there and see what people's going to do against. So Nash done a great job, and the team done a great job Friday night to get that win at Grainger.
Another bright spot was Connor Race in the 4th quarter. He sealed the game with those 2 touchdowns, I think from 4 yards out and 9 yards out. That extended your lead and really put it out of reach for Grainger, and that sealed the deal for you at the end. Another rushing touchdown by Jacob Susong. All 4 of your offensive touchdowns came on the ground once again this week. Talk about how much of a huge contribution Race was in the 4th quarter.
He was big. Trip got a little tired there and got a little injured. That we kind of took him out, and Race actually had a great run for somewhere around 20 to 30 yards, broke some tackles, but they caught a phantom hold on us and brought it back, and then we scored on that drive that he scored on his touchdown zone. So Race stepped up Friday night. He didn't play real well at Eagleton. He'd be the first one to tell you that, but he sure stepped it up Friday night, and I think he had 11 tackles on defense.
Wow.
That we saw at the stats. So Race had a really good game too, and we've had that all year, individual games. Now we just like to put it all together and everybody have a great game on next Friday night when we go up to Hampton.
One last thing, too. We talked about the 4 turnovers at the beginning. One of those ended up going into the end zone for 6. Dion Blair, another big game, just as he did last week against Eagleton. He had another one this week with a pick 6 on defense. I think he had an interception last week against Eagleton also, and he's had 2 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, Dion stepped his game up the last 2 weeks. We knew Dion could do that, and with the, TJ been out, he said he's going to pick up his game, and he has. I kind of read an article after Eagleton. They said their game plan was to stop 21, but they didn't. And that's good when somebody wants to stop somebody and they don't do that. And we expect a lot of Dion going forward the rest of the year. He's a playmaker. We just got to get the ball in his hands, find some ways to get the ball in his hands. Probably this week they're going to try to double him. We'll see what Hampton does, but he's been a great surprise the last couple of weeks, and we hope he can continue it.
Wrapping it up, you've got one more game left in the regular season. You got the big one against Hampton this upcoming Friday night. We need to go ahead and get a break in first before we talk about that. Unfortunately, won't be here at Rebel Hill. It'll be in Carter County at Hampton. We'll talk about it in just a minute right after this break here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts, the Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
Pizza Inn offers contactless buffet to go with JoJo's Family Feast or anything on our menu for carryout. We also honor birthday parties and cater to businesses and large events. We make it easy. Call us today. Pizza Inn Greenville.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Southbound Real Estate Shawn Jones Show, where we cover everything here on Rebel Hill with the Rebel football team. As always, I'm here with head coach Shawn Jones. So this Friday night, you got the big one. You got Hampton, the game that I think everybody has paid attention to up to this point all year. The TSSAA expected it, scheduling it in Week 11. It's came down to this. It's for the Region 1 2A championship. Talk about what your expectations are going into Friday night.
Well, it's a big game, and even after the loss of Happy Valley, we still control our destiny. That's big. The only difference now, if we could have beat Happy Valley and we lose this one, we're in second place and had a home field game. But now, if we lose it, we're on the road. But that's just what happens when you lose that game that you feel like you shouldn't have with Happy Valley. But this is what we've looked for all year. Last year they come up here, wore us out. I think it's 35-0, 31-0. We didn't even sniff to try to get to the end zone. So we're excited to get them in there this year. I was hoping we'd be a little bit more healthy, but hey, we're going to play with what we got and go up there and see what happens Friday night.
I know something that you had talked about last year was after the losses to Chucky Doak, West Greene, and Hampton, the boys were more upset that they lost the county games to West Greene and Chucky Doak and not the one to Hampton. Do you think it's a little different this year putting Chucky Doak and West Greene at the front of your schedule and having Hampton here at the end of their schedule to kind of allow them to focus more on Hampton at the end of the year?
Well, that's a big thing too, and then also you won them 2 games this year is another big thing. So and also that would be, you have time to get over it, because last year it was just like almost back to back when we had those games. I think we played Hampton the week after Chucky Doak. And so that was a big deal there. So yeah, it's big playing those other 2 early in the year, get those over with, and start concentrating on this game. And a lot of people. The good thing is all the pressure's on Hampton. A lot of people's looking at that. Oh, you haven't played well the last couple of weeks. What's going on? Well, we've had some injuries. We've had some other stuff going on. And I've told the boys since last Friday night. Sometimes in life you lose your way and then you find your way back, and that's what we're trying to do this week, because ain't nobody gives us a chance except us here at South Greene. Coaches, staff, players, no one gives us a chance. I'm sure people in the community, the way we played the last couple of weeks, don't feel like we got a chance, but we do. We feel like we go up there and we execute our game plan, we'll have a real good shot of winning. It's tough up there. You always feel you're down 14, 21 points when you're up there. You feel like you got to score 5 touchdowns at Hampton, but that's just the way it is when you go up there in Carter County to play. But we're boys are excited. Talking to them earlier this week, they got a little bit different attitude about them. So I think we'll go up there and play well. I'll be shocked if we don't. And win, lose, or draw, we tell the boys, as long as you lay it on the field, you play hard, you give effort. If they beat us, they beat us. All right? And that's, as a coach, you can take that. We felt like a Happy Valley. We did some stuff to beat ourselves, and some losses we had last year. But if you go up there and you lay it on the line and you play well and you do what you can and you execute the game plan, and the other team is just better than you, then hey, you just got to live with it. So we're excited. Kind of crazy. It's Week 10. It's kind of what TSSAA wanted. Got the big games here at the year, and so we're going to go play and see what happens.
A question that I'd asked you a few weeks back when you played Happy Valley was, with them changing their play style to be more like Hampton, would that benefit you going forward? Do you think, having played Happy Valley earlier in the year, having already studied and practiced against those formations, do you feel more comfortable going into this week?
Well, it's last couple of years they're not changing anything. It's just, right now, most teams are going out man us just for being bigger than us. Right now it's just effort, going for the game plan. We talked about, we may have to have players that's going to sacrifice. You may not get a tackle. We're going to ask you to do something to help the team out that you may not get a tackle, not even getting your name mentioned, but that's what has to happen when you got a team game going on. So there's some things we're going to try to do to slow them down, because what they do well. They'll get in that power set, and you do one thing, you try to adjust and do something else. So it's very hard. In the Happy Valley, we come out at halftime and we made 2 big stops. We felt like we got 2 stops that Happy Valley would beat them. I think we ended up getting 4 or 5 that night. And so same thing going into Hampton. We got to get a few stops and we got to go score. And if we do that, which was able to do that a couple years ago, went up there and got some stops and got up early. But Hampton's going to be playing. I mean, it's a 4-quarter game. No matter what the score is, it's a 4-quarter game. And last year wasn't. They ran us off the field, but if we go up there and do what we're supposed to, it's going to be a tough game. And as long as we're in it going in the 4th quarter, we'll have a shot to win. We'll figure out a way to try to get it close or do something to win the ball game. And that's what you hope for. And as long as we're in it going in the 4th quarter, we feel like we'll be fine.
As always, too, you've got 3 keys to success you need to carry out every week. What are they this week for the championship?
Well, the big one, you got to stop the power game. That's real big on us, or slow it down. If we can get some, maybe a couple turnovers, get some stops, we got to be able to do that. Then when we get the ball, we got to score, because when you have a team like the Hampton that's like Happy Valley and the Cumberland Gaps, it's going to do ball control. You got to score when you get your opportunity. So that's the second thing we got to do. And then we got to win that turnover battle. If we win that turnover battle, we'll have a real good shot.
It's up there in Carter County. It's at Hampton this week. If you've got nothing going on Friday night and you're watching this, go up to Carter County, go up to Hampton High School, watch the Rebels play the Bulldogs for the Region 1 2A Championship this Friday night at 7:30. Coach, that's all I've got for you this week. Best of luck this week. It's the biggest game to date. It'll be the big one that everybody's paying attention to. But until next time, thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Southbound Real Estate Shawn Jones Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.